Hello, everyone. If you're new to this content, welcome. This channel and podcast feed has been a place where we come to entertain and discuss a variety of different topics in entertainment.
However, in the midst of a global pandemic, many of us in this country are now feeling anger and pain due to the tragic events that have happened very recently.
Black Lives Matter. We stand in support of the Black community and against racism and violence that continues to plague our nation.
Now more than ever, we need to come together and support those who need to be heard in the fight against social injustice.
To our listeners, viewers, friends, and those in the Schmoedown family that are participating in peaceful protests, we ask only that you try your very best to stay safe.
These are trying times, but we can get through them together.
Ding a ding, 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 ding. Welcome back, Schmoedown fans, to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
I keep saying we got to get you a longer intro. But yeah, so might have a shorter episode this week, just because we only have one match to talk about. Obviously,
It's like it's going to balance out with next week when there's like 10 matches to talk about.
Exactly, and we'll get to that later. I think we might just get into like predictions and stuff for all that. But hope everybody's staying safe in these very, very rough times. Very rough times. Really quickly, I wanted to just touch on the Robert Meyer Burnett situation. Yeah, we're not going to dwell on this.
No need to really belabor the topic. It's been talked to, the nth degree on SCN.
And
elsewhere, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere.
Yeah. So because again, we don't want to spread a negative message or anything like that. But Robert Meyer Burnett, in light of all what's happening in the world, he had some very
troubling.
That's a great word for it. Troubling comments. Very
not okay, unacceptable.
Very aggressive comments that incite violence.
And I'm pretty sure he agrees with that. After the fact, he made comments that were reprehensible.
Yes. So him and Christian spoke about this. And they both came to the decision that it was in the best interest of the Schmoedown that he not be a part of it anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of jumped on the bandwagon initially and were like, "Oh wow, real nice of Christian to just do it over a tweet." And it's like
they spoke.
They spoke. Christian reiterated that a couple times, I think, online and on SEN.
Yeah.
That it wasn't that he just went snap decision. All right, he's out, and then tweeted it, and that's how RMB found out. No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said on multiple occasions in multiple mediums that he called Robert Meyer Burnett.
Yeah, and they spoke
about it.
And they spoke after the decision too.
And they came to a mutual agreement that, hey, this is in the best interest of all parties.
All parties, yes.
That this is how we're going to move forward. Robert's not going to be involved as a manager anymore. I don't know if that means that he's never going to return to the Schmoedown. Time will tell.
We'll see.
Right now, it's probably a safe bet to say no.
Yeah.
But, time will tell. Whatever, we'll see. But like we said before, I mean, what are we going to say about it that hasn't already been said? Of course, what he said was wrong. Of course, what he said was unacceptable. We don't support what he said.
Yeah, and
that goes without saying.
Yeah, and you have to look at this as he represents a brand, and they felt that this did not represent the brand that they want to put out.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people. There's people on both sides.
Yes.
There's people defending Robert Meyer Burnett. There's people defending Christian. There's, people that are also defending Christians are probably also the people defending Robert RB3. And there's really no defending what he said. No,
it was inappropriate. It was concerning is a very good word for it. It's like because Christian said that this was like people had concerns. Like, do I want to work with this man? Do I want him to be...
People felt uncomfortable.
They felt uncomfortable with these comments.
And it's like, you're allowed to voice your opinion because it's America and everything.
Yeah, but
you're allowed to voice your opinion, but the right to voice your opinion doesn't come without consequence.
Exactly.
It doesn't free you from any consequences.
Yeah.
And, he said what he said.
Yeah.
And
they're very strong words trying to incite violence in any form. So
yeah. And so, we've actually talked about this longer than I thought we would.
Yeah. So,
but what he said was terrible. We, as you know, on a personal level, 100%
we do not agree with these
agree
statements.
with what he said. I think Christian made the right call in a business sense as well as just a human sense.
Yeah.
That's probably not the best way to describe it, but I think that he made the best decision
possible. Yeah.
from every angle. There, of course, are people that are upset with Christian for what he did. I think that there would probably be a greater number of people that would be upset with Christian had he not.
Yeah.
Christian was put in an awful position.
Yeah.
And as if we need any more, you know, negativity and hatred circulating around us in this world. It just kind of added, fuel on the fire.
Yeah.
You know, the Facebook group is a war zone right now.
Yeah. And I
don't envy Christian at all. Never.
Bottom line, I think the correct and the right decision was made in the end of the day, in the best interest of the Schmoedown.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on from that because I don't want to dwell too much on.
We can go, we can go forever talking about that.
Yes. So again, shorter episode this week. My match got postponed until the following Wednesday. It's gonna be a doubleheader on Twitch.
It's gonna be a big day, baby.
Big day.
This next week is gonna be a big week.
Yeah.
Actually, I should have. God, I'm always so unprepared.
Bring that up right now. But what we're going to get into right now is the match between the play-in match for the IG tournament between Ben Goddard and oh my god, I already forgot his name.
Jim Vevjoda.
Wow.
Come on, baby.
You know how terrible I am with names.
Yeah. Better not be terrible with Star Wars names. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking.
So you want to bring up your notes for this match?
I do, as a matter of fact. So I've got Ben, the Bandit Goddard, representing the Den, and he's going against Jim, the Whiskey Man, baby.
Whiskey Man. Is this his first nickname? I never remember them saying his nickname ever.
I don't remember.
I don't think it.
And if I'm going to be honest, I'm not crazy about it. It's just me. That's just me.
Maybe he just likes whiskey.
Maybe he likes whiskey.
That's I'm assuming. I like whiskey too.
I mean, if you didn't like whiskey, why would that be your name? We can all.
I like whiskey. I know you don't like whiskey, but
whiskey's disgusting.
You got to find the right one.
Am I right, ladies?
You got to find the right one.
It's gross. It's just
don't be drinking that
weird,
Jack Daniels
really strong, smoky paint thinner flavor. That's just okay. You know when anybody out there, you take a shot, and then the minute you take it, you're like, that's me.
Sorry, we're going on a whiskey tangent though.
It's
the ones
gross.
The last couple you got me for Christmas. You know.
Yeah, we've had like a tradition because we've been together for
ever
a minute now. We've been together. What year is it? 2020. We've been together, not just dating, not just marriage, but like dating. We've been together for like 13 years.
Oh, is that all?
That's it.
Is that all?
Christmas. Jesus. Anyway, so recently we were like, a lot of holidays and stuff. We're like, what? Are we gonna get each other? Are we getting each other birthday gifts? Are we getting each other Christmas gifts? Are we getting each other so and so gifts? And
ooh, sorry.
Wow, somebody's phone is on silent. Mine's not either, but I'm not popular enough to be getting texts during the show.
That'd be from Legends of Zelda saying, "Hey, that's my text tone."
Cute.
But anyways,
so like there was this one year that we were like. Or I don't know how it started.
I think we just like don't try to buy me anything big. If you want to get me something,
get me a nice bottle of whiskey or something.
Yeah, because I was starting to broaden my horizons with whiskey. And
Andrew and some of our guy friends, they before the well before the pandemic. Not even I can't even bring the pandemic into this. This is well before it.
3 years
and
ago,
also
like
before like a couple of our friends moved away. Like we have a dear friend that moved to California, a dear friend that moved to Germany,
New York,
a dear friend that moved to New York.
Yep.
Yes, we've had people move away,
dear
but you're
moved to Tennessee.
A dear friend moved to Tennessee. He was probably one of the first ones to migrate away.
Love you, sister.
Love them still. We love them all. Anyways, before everybody started moving away, Andrew and some of our guy friends, it was more like a boys' night thing where they would get together and they would do like, this is not Schmoedown at all. I'm so sorry. But like they would
we're trying to stretch this episode out.
They'd get together and they'd have like whiskey tasting nights and they would have like whiskey, like
whiskey
nice
and risk night, and whiskey steak and
risky
risk
night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sounds like a terrible night to me because whiskey's gross and Risk looks so boring. I want to roll my eyes so hard that they bulge out of my head.
The last one we did was digital because of Corona, and we thought like it'll go faster.
Risk looks like
Nope.
I'd rather dig my eyes out with my fingernails.
Let's get back to the Schmoedown.
How did we get here?
The Whiskey Man. That's how we got on here.
Oh, the Whiskey Man. So yeah, every Christmas I get Andrew some like
fancy bottle
not like
whiskey.
Crazy fancy because who are we? The Kardashians?
Not like
what kind of money do we have? But like I get him like a nicer, not like bottom shelf whiskey. I get him something nice, you know. So
it was nice.
Whiskey's gross. Bottom line. Doesn't matter how much.
The last one you got me was really good.
Thank you. But it doesn't matter how much money you spend. Whiskey's gross. Personal opinion, whatever. So I'm assuming Jim likes whiskey because if he didn't, it's a terrible nickname. So Ben, the Bandit Goddard, represents the Den. Jim, the Whiskey Man Vevjoda, represents the rock stars. Almost just said the walk stars.
The rock stars really
Vevjoda,
need this.
don't know
really
how,
need this.
They do.
They really needed this match.
And I don't know if I've said it before, but Vevjoda is a really cool name.
I think you said that in the last time.
I think I did. It reminds me of like the I'm assuming it's a Russian name. It reminds me of Metal Gear. Just makes me think of like a name that you'd hear like General Vevjoda. Right?
They should call him the General. General Vevjoda. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Pretty awesome.
That sounds really cool.
You're welcome. I wonder how many people know what Metal Gear is. It's a classic.
Please.
Anyways, so Goddard was represented by, it was obviously a virtual match because, Corona's still a thing, I guess. And so Kate represented Ben with the Den. And Roxy was not available. So Mark Andreyko stepped in as the acting. That's why I take notes, babe. That's why I take notes. That's why I'm here. So Roxy wasn't available. So Mark Andreyko stepped in as the acting manager for Jim.
Not a lot of management needed in this match anyways.
Not really. And I think it's real. And I know that you've touched on this, but it's really difficult to manage virtually because you want to have private conversations with your team. Yeah. Not like,
unless you
all right, well, let's
pre-plan every scenario out.
Exactly. But it's like, oh, let me put the other player and manager, in the waiting room, and we'll bring Kate in. All right, you want to talk to your manager?
And it's
on broadcast in front of everybody. Yeah, and it's even. But what are you gonna do?
But for these matches, they're pre-taped, so they edit all this out. Yeah. For live matches, for like the Star Wars tournament and everything, it's gonna be like, because I told you before, I told Ducci about this. I'm like, I do not like this thing that we have to talk in front of everybody. But there's no
other choice. Yeah. I don't know, especially with the Star Wars match when it's live, the logistics of being like, hey, well, when we watched this match with Jim and Ben, they did have a cut scene where, and then they saw like the graphic of the team. You have that luxury when it's not a live match, but with the Star Wars match, you don't have that luxury.
We'll see.
So, yeah, it is what it is. You make lemonade out of your lemons, your Corona lemons. So both of them, Jim and Ben, were both making their Innergeekdom debut. Exciting.
Yeah, that is.
So let's jump right into
Goddard making his third division.
Yeah, debut. Ben thinks he's some like crazy, making 3 debuts in his rookie season. 1 season. Calm down, Ben. Jesus. Wow. Jeez. Rookie of the year. What do you think you are? Maybe. We'll see.
He's got a strong argument for it.
So round 1, Jim, Vevjoda. So they were both doing pretty well. I took a note that Vevjoda's first missed question was about somebody named their dragon something in Harry Potter, and it was Norbert. Cool name.
Right over my head because I've only seen 2 Harry Potters.
He missed it. That was his first missed question. He missed a question about some actress's name. You can tell that I took very detailed notes. It was somebody that I'm not even gonna try to think about. I don't remember. It was somebody from some other movie. Was it like The Mummy or something?
Yes, it was. What's her name from The Mummy?
At first, I was like, "Oh, Rachel Weisz, Rachel Weisz."
No,
that's the only name I know from The Mummy.
It's the newer one from Universal.
Haven't seen
the dark, the dark universe.
With The Rock.
No, the newer ones when they try to kick off their dark.
There's a newer one than The Rock.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is in The Mummy?
And the newer one from
Tom Cruise is in The Mummy.
Yes. Yes.
Top Gun Cruise.
Yes.
Is in The Mummy.
Yes.
I don't think I believe you. Tom Cruise.
No, so what's her name?
Is in The Mummy.
Yes, remember that one female actress from Kingsman. She had the swords for the legs.
Vaguely,
I
yes.
think this is who we're talking about.
I don't know, but I vaguely remember who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm still very upset that Tom Cruise is in The Mummy.
Because The Mummy, she plays the mummy that they end up releasing, and Tom Cruise has to catch her and stop her. You don't remember this at all?
Tom Cruise in The Mummy.
Tom Cruise. It's a terrible movie, but
I'm really, very, really upset.
it's not a terrible movie. It's just it wasn't.
I bet it was.
It was supposed to kick off Universal's like Dark Universe. There's sort of like.
Was The Rock in the same movie as Tom Cruise?
No.
How many movies was The Rock in? One, Scorpion King.
Scorpion King and the second Mummy.
Revenge of the Mummy.
The Mummy Returns, I think. It's called.
Potato. Am I right? Wow. Really?
Yeah.
So just
It
because
wasn't
you
a
can
good-
make
it-
a sequel
the-
doesn't mean you have
It wasn't.
to.
It wasn't a good movie.
I bet it wasn't. I bet it
a
wasn't.
good movie. There were some
Wow.
small things I liked about it, but overall, it's like,
Was
whatever.
Tom Cruise like the starring role?
Yeah, he was the protagonist.
He was the Brendan Fraser of the new Mummy.
Yes.
Was Brendan Fraser in it?
No.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, moving on. So then Ben and Jim, they had a question about taglines. The tagline, accomplish wonder.
I can't believe both of them missed this.
I didn't know it.
The only reason I
I
knew
would
it.
have said Wonder Woman, which one of them
no,
did.
it's a Man of
because
Steel.
Wonder.
Because it was the whole thing that Jor-El says to him. It's like, you will help them accomplish wonders.
Jor-El was Russell Crowe.
Yes, that's right. Who was also in the Mummy movie. He was Jekyll and Hyde. Dr. Jekyll. He was
Jekyll and Hyde.
He was Dr. Jekyll.
In the
And
Mummy.
the Mummy. They're trying to connect. So it's going to be all these monster movies.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes.
By name. You're not just saying like
He was
a
Dr.
metaphor.
Jekyll. Yeah, no.
You're not saying a metaphor for Jekyll
No,
and
no.
Hyde.
He
Jekyll
literally
and
goes.
Hyde.
He literally has a Jekyll and Hyde moment in the movie.
Is he Dr. Jekyll?
Yes. It was supposed to be this shared monster universe with like Frankenstein's monster, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Invisible Man.
How
the
many
Mummy.
Mummy movies are there?
There's, I mean, not counting the classic ones. You're thinking of the Brendan Fraser ones.
Yes, the real ones.
There was 3.
Okay.
Because there's the first one, and then the second one when he returns.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can count Scorpion King as another one.
Uh-huh.
And then there was the third one that was I didn't even see that one. Had Jet Li in it.
And Aaliyah. Right?
Really?
No?
I can't remember.
Am I wrong? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
and then you
boy.
had this new one. So there's like 5 of them.
Wow.
And this is not
know,
counting the classic monster
You don't
movies.
need to. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So, accomplish wonder is Man of Steel.
Yeah. So again, I the reason I knew this is because like it was a whole speech that he gave to Kal-El. It's like, oh yeah, you like you will they'll behind you, stumble, they will fall,
Accomplish wonder.
and you will help them accomplish wonders.
Oh.
So that's the only reason I knew the tagline. But there's another tagline question in this movie. In this match, was it the second?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll get there.
You're trying to look
Hold
up the
on.
Mummy. I can see.
am.
Don't try to steer away from that.
I am. I googled how many movies the Mummy. Well, it says 3. That can't be right. How many Mummy movies did they make? All right, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
What's the? I don't.
So
let's
then
get off the Mummy.
I guess the last question. You're right. I guess we weren't getting too ahead of ourselves because
the very next question was the tagline.
I guess another one of the next questions was a tagline.
Yeah.
Judgment is coming. I guess this
Dredd.
one I said Judge Dredd, but I was wrong because it's just Dredd.
Because Judge Dredd is with Stallone.
Cool.
Yeah.
Stallone.
Mhm.
Cool. Anyways, at the end of round 1, 6-9 in favor of Ben, the Bandit Goddard.
Mhm. He misses one. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He missed one. Didn't get the perfect round.
It was a tagline.
Sorry, Ben.
2 taglines in round 1.
Yeah, that was weird. And
Wow.
they're back to back, right?
I don't know if they were back to back.
Oh, yeah, but
if I'm gonna be
anyways.
totally honest with you, but they were at
Probably
least both in round
I think
1.
you only took notes on the ones that they missed.
Yes, I did.
So yeah, that's very strange that there was 2 tagline questions in
It is
the
what it is,
first
baby.
round.
That's the game. That's the Schmoedown. You know what I'm saying? Round 2, Ben goes first. He's up. He decides he's gonna go first. He's gonna flex. He conferred with Kate. Decided to go first. He got opponent's choice. And then he got stuck with scores and soundtracks.
That's a rough category.
A rough. You know, unless you're Christian likes scores.
Christian
and
likes
soundtracks.
scores.
Riley likes scores. And
Yeah,
soundtracks.
Riley. Somebody else likes scores. and
Darina
soundtracks.
likes scores and soundtracks,
but she's not an
active competitor. I don't know who else is an active competitor.
Somebody else likes scores and soundtracks. I don't know who.
But I feel like in scores and soundtracks, there's a lot of names that come up a lot. But you
Yeah,
can't. Just
but
bank on
but
those
it's not
names.
only scores. It's like track names, song names.
True.
So
You're right. So he got a question about the Harry Potter composer. It was Alexander Desplat, which I thought was interesting because Ben missed it. He did not go to multiple choice. He missed it. And then Jim stole it. And
that's a big steal.
I forget his exact, pronunciation, but he was like, Alexander Desplat.
Desplat. He went back.
And then he goes, I'll spell it for you. And then
that was very interesting.
Which I thought was interesting too, because, people pronounce things differently.
Yeah.
May I submit Boba Fett?
Baba is not a thing. Baba is not a thing.
It is for Mark Ellis. So people pronounce things differently, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if he can spell Desplat, but he says it Deplot, I don't know. Is that French?
Yeah.
Sometimes they forget letters.
This is kind of interesting, especially things like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars. Pronunciation is like,
it's kind of,
it's very wonky sometimes.
Yeah, it's loose.
Yeah, so like I'm wondering if like a name comes out again, trying to relate this to the Star Wars because a Star Wars tournament is going on. What if a competitor is like oh, I want this character, and I'm not gonna say any names because whatever, but it's like
Boba Fett.
And, but you're like, and they're like you do it like it is like a Boba Fett, and it's like
I can spell it,
and you spell it out from like that's what it is, and it's like okay, well, will they accept that? So
I wouldn't see why not, because obviously you know what the name is.
Yeah,
You're just saying it different than the person who's judging you, which I think is fair enough, because I would say everybody says things differently.
Yeah.
Some people say syrup. Some people are wrong and say syrup. Syrup is the right way to say it. Some people,
orange.
Also, yes. Some people say things one way and some people say them another way.
But yeah, that was
if you can spell it, you know it.
Yeah,
and you
that was a very
rightfully
interesting
deserve
call.
the
I
points.
think I would argue that was the first time that's kind of actually ever happened.
I don't remember that ever happening.
I don't think it ever happening before. So
But
that's a very interesting.
You're proving without the shadow of a doubt that you know it.
Yeah.
We've been on this a long time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
we're trying to stretch this episode out.
He got it. He stole 2 big old points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh. Uh-oh.
Did you?
Oh no. Okay, I thought I try to like my
what?
notes. I try to like delete things as I go.
I don't see why you do that. Why don't you just
Because
leave it?
it's very noisy for my eyes, so I try to delete things. So Ben went to multiple choice again, or he went to multiple choice for another one.
Mm-hmm.
He got it.
He went to multiple choice a lot, didn't he? Or am I thinking of it?
I think he went. I mean, I deleted a lot of stuff, but I think he went twice. But he got both of the ones that he went to multiple choice on.
But he did have a 2-point steal in this round.
He did get a 2-point steal, but then there was another question about a song that played in Kingsman, the Elton John song that played when Eggsy was fighting those like robot dogs, and he missed it. I think he said Rocket Man,
something like that. It was one
or something like that. He did not. He missed it, and then Jim said Saturday night's all right for fighting. He said Friday night's all right for fighting. But the real answer is Saturday nights, that's heartbreaking because that would have been a fat 2-point steal.
It would have been.
Oh my god!
And we'll get to this in a little bit. Like these steals that could have happened, really would have.
They really would have shifted the tide of the game.
Yeah.
So Jim did get a 2-point steal. He missed out on a 2-point steal. Tis what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Ben ended his round. Whatever. Next is Jim. He spins. He gets opponent's choice.
So you very rarely see this.
Both people get
Both
opponent's
getting
choice.
opponent. I mean, I don't know what the stat is on this, but like
Frankie.
Frankie hit me up. But
I don't
like
think Frankie watches this show.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, Frankie.
But I want to see the stat of like how many times both competitors have hit opponent's choice.
When karma strikes.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So Jim gets opponent's choice, and then Ben's like, give him the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, no, because he hit Wizarding World first.
Oh, you're right.
Then spun away.
You're right.
And then hit an opponent's choice.
So
he showing his cards.
Revealed. Basically. Yeah, he showed his cards. I think he spun away fervently.
Yeah.
From Harry Potter. So why wouldn't Ben strike on that? And it's a category that Ben knows really, really well.
Yeah.
Right. I think. Right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions in round 2. Jim went to multiple choice every
single time, yeah.
Which, you know what? I would have too, because I've seen exactly 0.00 Harry Potter
You've seen
movies.
one?
Nope.
I think you've seen one.
Negative.
Well, yeah.
Which one have I seen?
I don't know.
Because it's none.
I've
seen one Pirates movie. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I've seen Black Pearl.
Which is the best
That's
one.
it.
That's the best one.
Oh.
Curse of the
Yeah,
Black
no,
Pearl?
okay, Black Pearl, the only one. Maybe you're also thinking of Indiana Jones. The only one I've seen is Crystal Skull. Harry Potter.
I always
zero.
forget about that.
Yeah.
And it hurts my soul every time you say it.
Well, Crystal Skull is the only Indiana Jones I've ever seen.
Maybe we'll do a watch along for Indiana Jones because
Who
you're
knows?
missing out on some
Primetime Harrison Ford action.
No, some of the best movies ever made.
Wow.
You're missing some fantastic movies. I almost swore there. I'm sorry.
Wow.
But like, I mean, whatever. But
Well,
like,
Harry Potter, I can guarantee you, is 0.00 that I've seen. So he goes to multiple choice. Every question, 5 questions. He got 2 of them, but he missed 3, and all 3 were stolen.
Yeah, that was
so
big.
round 2 is like, ooh, here we go. So Jim stole 2 points, but
Coulda
there
got
was
another
another
2.
2 points that he could have stolen off of Ben, and then there was another 3 points that he gave up to Ben. You know, so if he had gotten that steal, he'd be 2 points up. Wait.
You did the math and you said he would have been a lot closer
He would have been a lot closer.
or ahead. Would he?
He would have been ahead.
Yeah.
Because, I did this better before while we were watching the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he had stolen those 2 points and if he had gotten those other 3 points, it would have been a much different game because Ben wouldn't. Had he not given up those 3 multiple choice questions, you could subtract 3 from Ben's score and add 3 to Jim's score.
Yeah.
Plus, had he gotten that 2-point steal, it would have been
There's
a much
lot of
different
what
game.
ifs. There's a lot of what ifs in this.
A lot of what ifs, as always. Anyways, the way it shook out was that at the end of round 2, it was 10-16 in favor of Ben. Round 3. Jim gets his 2-pointer. Middle Earth. Woof. The screenwriter.
I mean, if you don't know Middle Earth, you don't know Middle Earth.
It was a screenwriter for something. Is there a movie? How many Middle Earth movies are there? There's got to be a couple.
6.
Oh boy.
There's 6 of them.
Well, all I wrote was screenwriter, Middle Earth, and it was Peter Jackson.
Yeah,
but he got it.
Yeah, who's the screenwriter for like the Hobbit film or something like that?
Is Hobbit Middle Earth?
Yeah.
Oh. What about
another series that you refuse to watch, and
No,
it hurts
thanks.
my soul every time?
looks
The
boring.
Hobbit, I can forgive you on, but the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it looks real boring. Looks real boring. Plus, there's a big spider. Why would I do that?
You can close your eyes for that scene because
Alright.
it is very terrifying.
It's gross.
It's very terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an arachnophobic, like Nicki
I'm
is.
incredibly arachnophobic. Like, can't even look at a picture of one unless I get very itchy and like grossed out and need to take a
if
shower.
we find like a big spider in the house, like, well, I guess we're burning the house down.
No. And I grew up in a very like
Wooded area.
I'm getting itchy thinking about it. And there was like, we had lots of wolf spiders and
I've been to the house several times. I'm like, oh, yep, I guess that's there right now.
My parents sold that house, so
And they moved to not wooded area,
another kind of wooded area.
not as wooded as the other one. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
So gross. Anyways, Jim's 3-pointer, Indiana Jones. Look at that. What did the Thuggy cult steal? Thuggy. Sweet name. They stole people's children.
I'm not the what is it? The second Indiana Jones.
Crystal Skull.
No, that's Temple of Doom.
Indiana Jones and the
Temple of Doom.
Okay.
I'm not the
I was
biggest
gonna
fan
guess.
of the Temple of Doom. I still like it, but my order goes Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then Temple of Doom.
Crystal Skull.
Temple of Doom is my least favorite. Then Crystal Skull is like I don't even count Crystal Skull.
Is that the last one, the most recent one? So there's 4.
Sure. I don't really acknowledge the 4th one because it's so bad.
It was all right.
But yeah. But out of the classic trilogy of Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom is my least favorite. I still enjoy it, but I like the other 2 better.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Come at me, bruh. So it was the cult stole, people's children. Little boy. He got it. He did it. Good job, Jim. So then we move on to Jim's 5-pointer. Jim gets Marvel for his 5-pointer.
What was the question?
Daredevil. Bullseye kills a man by throwing
this one hurt. This one hurt because
and he said
I immediately knew this.
Nut.
No.
And then
he is thinking of something else because there is
somebody in the chat was like, "Oh no, it was a nut in a different."
It
scene.
was. There was a scene where he flicks a nut into somebody's
and
throat
kills him with it.
and they choke on it, and he dies. This is the movie this is what Daredevil is.
Is Daredevil a bad movie? Because it sounds like one. Just judging by the fact that somebody got killed with a paperclip and a nut.
This one
Sounds dumb.
It was.
Let's be honest. Be honest with me.
Not the best.
Okay. Well,
Wasn't
I
the
respect
best.
that.
I enjoy it for what it is.
Okay.
But it's not when you compare it to. This was in the age of like when X-Men was coming out and like comic movies weren't like what they are like right now with the MCU and the DCEU, and the X-Men franchise the way it is right now.
A nut and a paperclip.
Yeah.
The paperclip. Okay. How?
So
How?
He's in the bar. And he's like throwing darts and he's winning everything. He's winning all this money or whatever.
Okay.
And I can't remember, some dude in the bar is complaining and he takes this paperclip and the dude's like, oh, okay, whatever, and he stretches it out and like breaks it up into several pieces and he keeps throwing them at the guy's neck, and that's how he kills them.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But
if like a paperclip, a piece. Okay, it's even worse that he broke it up into pieces.
and it was several things like shot into his neck.
Like that has enough weight.
I mean, his name is, God, what is it? It's Bullseye. So he's known for never missing his shots.
Yeah, that's cool and all. But let's take an inch section off of a paperclip. How much does that weigh? I'm gonna throw that at you with enough force.
It's a movie. It's a comic book movie. Come on.
I mean, I can accept. This is coming from somebody that accepts the fact that John Wick killed somebody with a book by shoving it in their mouth, right?
Well, I mean, come on, that's a little bit more feasible. You put
Exactly,
it
it is. A paperclip that's in pieces? That's insane. That's insane.
But anyways, he misses it.
Anyways,
He misses it. Unlike Bullseye.
So
I believe that's what his name is.
Nice. Yeah, Bullseye.
I think, yeah.
And I think Ben flexed and he was like, by the way, it's paperclip, before they actually said it.
Yeah, because I was surprised he
So-
missed this. It's like, oh man, like
I've never seen Bullseye.
I've seen Daredevil named like twice. And that was a long
Is that
time ago.
Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Jennifer Garner.
Mm-hmm.
She was Elektra.
Mm-hmm.
Call me Christian. So the game ended 15-16 with Ben
TKO.
winning in a TKO.
Wow.
Because our perfect baby boy, didn't even have to answer a third round question. So 15-16. Good job, Ben.
So
you really did it.
the Den
to him.
should be tied with Swag now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Swag picked
And
up
this
that
was-
last, weird TKO.
Yeah, this is kind of it's very bad for the Rockstars because
Rockstars could
they
really
only
have used this.
they only have Alex Damon in the tournament now, and if he
Oh, yeah, 'cause this was
and
a
if Alex
play-in
doesn't
match,
come
huh?
to play and he doesn't win this first match, Rockstars and they're gonna be really suffering.
Yeah, and the thing about Alex's match is like Jen Kemp, I don't know anything about this girl.
Yeah. So like
She's a fan leaguer, right?
I think so.
Who knows? I mean, so is Robert Parker. And look at what he did. So is Kevin Smits. And look what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
So, not that I'm saying that somebody is going to come out with their debut match and be a Kevin Smits as he is now,
Yeah.
or, whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't know. It's
And
a total
but
wild
Alex,
card.
everybody's like, oh, Alex Damon.
Because they're used to how dominant he is in Star Wars.
But looking back on his IG match, it's a respectable showing.
Absolutely.
But he really, I think his cards got shown when he had to go multiple choice several times for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So, is that a place where you can get him at?
And it's also like, now that obviously, who doesn't know that he's good at Star Wars? But obviously, hey, if I have the choice for opponent's choice, maybe I don't give him Lord of the Rings.
But also, because I think the exhibition match between the Lord of the Rings exhibition match went live also this past week or a week ago or something like that. But everybody now knows how dominant he is in Lord of the Rings now too.
Exactly.
So he has these two categories that can really save him in this. But then again, there's a bunch of other categories.
And then I think in his match against Emily, I think he made some sort of a comment about Back to the Future and how that was a strength of his. If I'm not mistaken.
Indiana Jones, Back to the Future.
Maybe it was Indiana Jones.
Well, I think he knows Back to the Future.
But there was
as well.
something, either he got the third round category or Emily did, and he was like, "Oh man, that's my, that's my stuff right there." But he showed some kind of card in that match that was like, okay, well now we know a couple.
So
things
now
that he's good in.
the pressure is on Alex to perform in this tournament because if he gets out in the second round, which probably could happen. There's a chance that might happen.
Because if Alex wins, he's either going against Saul or he's going against Brandon Hanna. We don't know what Saul's capable of. We've seen Brandon Hanna.
And Brandon Hanna's probably got a fire underneath him right now because he's ready to burn everything down.
Of course he does.
Yeah, so...
He is a lit.
And when competitors are backed into corners, they come to play.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
And that's assuming that Alex wins. He may not.
If he gets knocked out in the first round, the Rockstars...
They're in a predicament.
They're gonna have to. Granted, they could make up all the points later with this massive singles tournament that Christian's been talking about, and when we do start getting back into the teams matches and tournament, and just they could make up the rounds. But that's a really big hole you got to dig yourself out of, especially if Alex loses. You lost out all your points in the Star Wars tournament. Your player got knocked out in the play-in, not even the first round. Now your other IG player got knocked out in another play-in. So, like...
There's a lot of pressure on Alex.
It's a lot of pressure on Alex right now. But Ben Goddard coming out and showing up because now he's a triple threat.
He is undefeated in three divisions, which is amazing.
Yeah, if you can keep winning in singles and teams, which I see that happening, it just depends on who he goes up against next. He has a really, really strong... case for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, there are other people like the Barbarian. Who else? Robert Parker's. He was gonna have something to say about that by the end of this tournament. But Ben doing it across three divisions is huge. We don't see a lot of people do that.
Especially not
granted, it's only one win in each division, but like he's looking good. I mean, this match was probably his toughest match because of the opponent's choice and wasn't the prettiest match for him. But a TKO is a TKO. Yeah. So. Obviously now he has to go up against Parker. See what he does there because
I'm really excited for that match.
Yes, yeah. But
so after the match, Ben says that speaking of Robert Parker, just like ran my phone into the microphone. Speaking of his next match against Robert Parker, because Christian, it was Christian and Mark, right?
Yeah, Christian
calling
and
the
Mark.
match.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Hey, Ben, what do you feel like with your next match against Robert Parker?" And he was like, "Well, in all honesty, I don't feel any pressure because if he wins, it's the biggest upset of the year, and if he loses, well, whatever. He was supposed to lose because Robert Parker is the golden boy of IG. Yeah. So he's like, I'm going into it feeling great. I'm coming off of a win, and either way, if I win, great. If I lose, whatever. He says all the pressure is on Robert Parker. Yeah. Because he's had one match. Yeah. And everybody has been just, freaking out over him. Yeah. So all the pressure's on him, not on Ben.
What are your thoughts on this comment? Because I have my own thoughts on this.
I agree with him. I absolutely agree with him because there's really nothing to, he already laid it out. There's really nothing to fight.
So these comments are very similar to what Sean Sullivan and Kate were saying about their match against Laura Kelly. So I love Ben to death, but it's like it's almost exactly what they're saying. The same kind of message they were saying. It's like, well, all the pressure's on Laura because if I win, it's a huge upset. If I lose, we lost to Laura Kelly. So
I can't argue that.
But like I see what he's saying. Yeah. But like
you're right.
I've said because it's the same thing with Ace when he said it's like I'm just here for fun and like whatever, if I beat him it's a great upset, but if I lose it's like what, I was here for fun. It's like you're almost setting you're sort of saving face at this point and you're going into it like well if I lose it's Robert Parker.
I feel like the difference between Ace and Josh is that they were both debuting.
That's true too. Yeah,
they were both debuting. They both had the same amount to lose, if you will. With, what was the other example you gave?
Sean Sullivan.
Sean and Laura. Sean is going against...
the last person to go up against Alex Damon.
Exactly. Yeah. The last number one contender. He's coming off of one win.
That's true, too.
Ben was coming off of 3 wins.
That's undefeated, true, too. Yeah.
Going against Jim Vevjoda,
That's a great argument.
Also a rookie in IG. I feel like you're right. The line of logic is the same. But the specific situations are a little bit different. I think that Ben had a little bit more
to show than say Sean and Ace.
A bit. He had a bit more of a leg to stand on to make those kind of a comments. Yeah. I mean, the guy is what, 4-0?
3-0.
I thought he had 2 teams matches.
You're right.
So he's 4-0,
wow,
right?
fact checking me. Yeah, so he's 4-0.
Yeah, because I remember Kate saying he's had 2 wins in one division.
That's
so
right. That's
3 different
true.
divisions, but 2 wins in one division.
Mm-hmm.
I only have Kate to thank for knowing that. But so he's like 4-0 now. He's got.
Yeah, he's got a lot of.
He he's a rookie, but he can kind of do a little smack talking.
Yeah.
Based on what he's accomplished. So I agree with him.
And he performed very well in the Lord of the Rings match.
Yes, he did.
So he missed one question, and that was the one that got him eliminated or something like that. I can't remember. It was such a long match.
If I were in Ben's position, I'd be making the exact same argument.
Yeah.
I'd be saying the exact same thing. I'm feeling good because if I win, wow. And if I lose, oh well, that's what everybody was thinking was going to happen.
I'm just thinking it's like, don't go into it like, well, I might lose. It's like, no, I'm going in it to win. And it's like, I don't even want to think about losing. I'm going in to demolish Parker. It's like, get ready because I'm coming to take Parker out.
Yeah.
And don't even mention losing.
Yeah.
Well, that's just my mindset.
I still think that he's going into it thinking he's going to win.
Yeah.
But, I'm a person who likes to cover all their bases.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would be making the same argument as Ben.
Yeah.
You go into it feeling great. You go into it like, yeah, I think that I definitely have a shot. But if I don't, here's why it's okay. You're not necessarily going into it saying, well, if I lose, whatever. But I see where he's coming from. I think Ben has room to make that kind of a comment and not think he's going into it with a losing attitude.
Yeah. That's a great point. But I think all that stuff of like, it's like, well, if I lose, I lose to Parker. I think wait for leave that for your post-match interview. It's like, what do you think? It's like, yeah, we had a great match, but it's Robert Parker. It's a great loss.
Whatever.
So
I'm not nitpicking it that much. I'd be making the same argument if I was Ben.
Yeah.
I'd be saying literally the exact same thing because he, at this point, has made enough name for himself to be able to say that kind of thing. But I still think in his mind, he's going into it like, I got a chance. I'm not going into this like, no, there's no way I'm going to beat him. He's going into this like, I got a chance.
And that's all you really need in these days in the Schmoedown. It's like, you're telling me there's a really slim chance? Or you're telling me there's a chance. You don't know that movie because you didn't see it.
I know it because I know memes, okay? I know it because I've seen
so
GIFs.
You're telling me there's a chance.
It's Dumb and Dumber. I'm not like that stupid.
You would love one specific scene in that movie, and I want to watch your face when we watch it, when we do get around to it. But yes, so any other thoughts on this match? Because, again, not the prettiest of wins for Goddard, but again, it's a TKO nonetheless. And it's 3 points to the Den.
I think it was a great match. I don't really think there's much else to cover.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the Schmoedown website.
So let's go over and see what matches are headed our way for the next week. It's like 5 matches of next week?
Something like that. I don't know. I was looking at a post in the Finstock Exchange Facebook group where I think it was Josh made some kind of a post about upcoming matches. But right now I'm looking at the Schmoedown website. And it says Joseph Scrimshaw versus Andrew Dimalanta postponed. However, we know when that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
So we know that that's going to happen. I kind of almost want to find Josh's post since this.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I actually can find it. Hold on.
It's Wednesday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time because that's what time we're in. Which is what 6:30 Pacific for people that are over there.
No, it's
What? Right?
Here.
No.
That's the post.
Was I wrong? Was I wrong? We have an updated
Wasn't really
schedule.
listening.
A story of my life.
Sorry.
So Monday at 9, all patrons received Warfather v Alba IG.
So yeah, really quick.
I'm assuming
let's
that's
just
Pacific
run
Standard.
let's run through these.
So I'm assuming that's Pacific Standard Time. So Monday is Warfather Alba for patrons. You know what? It's whatever. If you're a patron, you know when you get your stuff. And if you're not a patron, you know that you don't get it when patrons get their stuff. So let's just talk about the matches. So Warfather v Alba for a play-in and IG.
So
Warfather is 1-0 in IG. He had a debut, right?
no, I think he lost in IG.
Who did he lose
And he
to?
won in singles.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
So he won in singles against Kemp. Was it Jen Kemp that he won against?
No, I don't think we've seen Jen Kemp yet.
No.
No.
He won in singles versus somebody that got traded like a million times.
Oh, Claudia Dolph?
Dolph, that's it is. Yeah. So he won in a very like she just didn't.
There wasn't a lot of fanfare. It was just kind of a match where
So
he won.
Warfather has yet to win in his Inner Geekdom.
Oh.
And
Alba has not been in Inner Geekdom
so he's
yet.
making his Inner Geekdom debut.
So it's kind of a toss-up.
I would say, just based off of past performances, I'm taking Alba. Just because of like,
I kind of want to take Alba too, because I feel like Alba and Humphreys have really come to play.
Yeah, they're sneaky good.
Like they're
very sneaky good.
So I kind of want to take Alba too.
Yeah, so I'm taking Alba on that.
Barbarian Halavic. I mean, it's kind of obvious who we're gonna pick there.
Barbarian, come on.
Gonna go with Barbarian. Not that Halavic is,
no,
not good or anything.
No one just sneezed at, but like I think Barbarian has been preparing very, very diligently, and
and I mean he's had how many matches?
One match.
He's had one match.
And in the exhibition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jurassic Park exhibition.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's done.
He's done
stunning.
Yeah, he's done
jobs.
really well.
So
hasn't missed a question.
We're gonna pick Barbarian on that one. Then Warfather Albert premieres on YouTube. Patrons get Barbarian Halavic. Scrimshaw v Dimalanta. Is there any point in talking about?
We've already talked about that, but because what's happening is that Wednesday it's a doubleheader for Twitter.
Yes, because
Twitch.
Andrew's match against Scrimshaw was supposed to happen last week on Wednesday. We were
Didn't
totally
happen.
prepared. I was asking him questions here and there. Well, not here and there, like all morning.
Yeah.
And then he looks at his phone. He's like,
"Nope, it's canceled.
No,
it's canceled."
no.
I went through a whole range of emotions that day.
It was
for many reasons.
It was not a good day.
It was.
Let's be honest. Let's pull back the curtain on our lives.
So
Wednesday was just not a good day overall.
I will fully admit this is very selfish of me to think. It's like, just gonna cancel my match, and it's like, I cooled down a bit. It's like, well, what else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Because I was just heated because like in the moment I was like, I'm ready for this. I want to get this over. Well, I'm not get it over with, but I want to get back in there. I have a lot to prove. I want to get in there and just. Yeah, and just a lot of things piled on top of that with everything that was happening in the world, and it's just I was just heated that day.
Yeah. But apart from that, it was just not a very good day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on. It's just that day especially just seemed like everything was kind of just happening.
Yeah,
it hasn't been a very good week.
Yeah.
But that day it just seemed like everything.
So now
was just
it will be my match with Scrimshaw first.
Right, at like 4:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific.
1:30, because
1:30 Pacific,
something like that.
Oh, I'm just a dummy. It's 1:30 Pacific, 4:30
our
Eastern.
time.
I'm just a dummy.
Yeah,
Don't listen to me.
It'll go our match, then the post game, whatever.
I don't know how to
patrons,
do time zones.
And then right after ours jumps into Molly
Damon and Witt.
Molly Damon versus Adam Witt. This is a toss-up.
This is an
absolute toss-up.
Because both of them are both of them only have one match. Both of them are 0-1.
0-1, and both of their gameplay very similar.
Yeah.
To again, I've said it many times before. I don't believe Molly's performance in the Chicago match is indicative of her knowledge because I think the crowd might have gotten to her, nerves got to her, and she made a couple of rookie mistakes that I think could absolutely been brushed up on. I
think so.
Adam Witt, pretty much the same thing. He made a couple of mistakes.
He made a rookie mistake definitely in round 2.
I think it's 2, not going to multiple choice.
I think so. It was Cloud Riders.
Yeah, not listening to the question fully and things like that.
I think it was his round 2.
And then he has that big pull quotes with Dalty Dufine, however you pronounce it. I think this is a toss up. I would actually give the edge to Molly just because of
her husband.
She's a Damon. So. She's a Damon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For fun, I mean, I see what you're saying because However, Adam's been yes, Adam did make a rookie mistake because I think his question was like, who leads the Cloud Riders? Obviously the question wasn't that cut and dry.
Yeah.
But he heard a question. He thought it was the Cloud Riders. He didn't realize it was the leader of the Cloud Riders.
Yeah,
I think I've got it right.
Cloud Riders wasn't the question.
Emphas Nest was the answer.
Yeah, Emphas Nest was the answer, but the
But
question,
he said Cloud Riders.
Yeah.
So, he made a little bit of a rookie mistake. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
that in mind, Adam has been in more matches than Molly has been. So I wonder, could that play to his advantage at all with nerves? So for fun, I feel like my obvious, gut reaction is to say
Damon.
Molly because she's married to Alex Damon. But for fun, you pick Molly. For argument's sake, I'll pick Adam because he's got, a couple more matches under his belt.
Yeah,
they might not be Star Wars, but they're matches
They
still.
could come to play, yeah.
Who knows? And then
Thursday.
Friday at 2. Public release on YouTube for Hannah v. Saul.
Ooh.
This is going to be an interesting match
very
because
interesting.
of the hype. Like, Brandon Hanna has been running his mouth all over social media.
Turn his back on everybody.
Oh my God. It's like, is there a bigger villain in the league than Brandon Hanna? Like, Brandon.
At the moment, no.
Chill.
Yeah.
Bro. Dang. So it's kind of, and then Saul, Saul made a reaction video, but it was a reaction video. Brandon Hanna's been making these
Jabs
tweets here and videos there. And like I said a time or two ago, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Slow your roll, son.
Calm down. Come on. And everybody's dogpiling on top of him, which is kind of at this point, it's all right, well, he asked for it.
Everybody is just coming.
He asked for it. And all I can say is that I hope that he can back it up. Because when you talk that much, that's why I said if I ever somehow, which I don't think I should, but if I ever in some fantasy dream world competed in the Schmoedown, you're not going to find me on Twitter oh yeah, F this guy and I'm going to beat this guy and wow, you're going to get, drilled into the ground and blah, blah, blah. Because then you got to back it up. And what happens if that one day that you compete, they ask you some question that just falls out of your brain.
12th minute out.
12th minute out, or something that you just happen to not know. Because it could happen. They could ask you one thing in that one dark corner of your mind that you don't know, or maybe it just fell out of your head that day.
Yeah.
And then if you don't follow through on all that smack talk.
Oh, see what happened.
Whoa,
Look what happens.
You're just walking up to all of the people doubting you and against you and saying, here's some ammunition. Would you like to use it upon me? So
setting up your own firing squad.
I can only, let me just put on my blindfold for you guys and just hand you some ammo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, for the amount of smack talk Hannah's been talking, I can only hope that he backs it up.
I actually do think he will back it up. I think having that much fire under you and that much pressure on you will cause you to study more, cause you to prepare more, and put you, it might put him in the right mind space of...
He knows how much he's got to lose. He has to.
Yeah. So,
and Saul is a rookie. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? I mean, it would be one thing if he was talking all this smack going against somebody else who was already established in Innergeekdom. Mm-hmm. He's talking all this smack going up against a rookie.
Yes.
That we don't know. He could, beep the bed, or he could really mop the floor with, Hannah. Who knows? So I personally also think I'd give the edge to Hannah just because he's had more experience. He's had more experience, and Saul's never, we don't know what Saul's capable of.
Yeah.
Sure, he has a great presence. Sure, he can smack talk, but
you got to come play.
We don't have any tape on him. Yeah. So I would probably give the edge to Hannah as well.
Yeah. So I think that's all the matches.
I think so.
Yeah. So we had ran all through those. We have a lot to talk about next week. It's a lot. So next week might actually be a extra long episode.
Might be a little longer than usual.
Extra long episode.
A lot to talk about.
No guests on that day because when we have guests, we run longer.
We're not having Ben on next week because it would be a 3-hour show.
Absolutely not having Goddard on next week.
But it's been a while, so he's probably going to be on soon. But just next week, it would be 5 hours if we had him on.
Well, I'm all right with. We are going to have Barbarian on in the next coming weeks. I think.
Cool.
It's it's in July, I think.
Oh.
Or something. I can't. Right. I look at my calendar, but we do have Barbarian will be joining the show because we tried to have him on previously. But then everything happened with his wife, and obviously he couldn't join us. So we're making up for that with having him on in the next coming weeks. So we'll see how that shakes out. But I know we said a shorter episode, but when I mean shorter episode, shorter by 5 minutes, because we filled the time. Look at that. So
look at that.
We'll go ahead and wrap up the show for this portion. Or well, God, I just had a stroke.
You blacked out.
Blacked out for a second. But Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Twitter at Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. If you are listening to us on audio form on the Beyond the Schmoedown podcast feed, please rate us, follow the feed. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then if you would like to join the Patreon, patreon.com/Andrew and Nikki, we just recorded a play along.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did
We just did the Iron Man between Ken Knapsack and Sam Witwer, and I think you're gonna want to see it.
It's good. So if you want to,
you're gonna want to see it.
So I think by the time this episode gets posted, it'll probably already been posted for a patron. So if you want to see that right away, join the Patreon. If you don't, you're gonna have to wait till the end of July to see it, because
oh boy,
public only gets it one every month. But yeah, we had a whole bunch of other stuff that we were doing. I did my first short film video journal for the captains and up get access to that. So I'm really excited to get working on that stuff as soon as the Star Wars tournament ends. Yeah. But thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown, everyone. We'll see you next time.